Well, that was quick. Ethan Nwaneri to Marseille. Here we go. Straight loan move, no buy option. 6-month loan spell in Liga at Marseille for 18-year-old Ethan Nwaneri, and then straight back to Arsenal over the summer. I think it's a good move for him. It's what he needs right now to keep developing. It's better that he goes to a less competitive league, to a side where he's actually going to get proper minutes rather than sit on the bench for Arsenal or not even make match day squads, as is what's happening right now, especially in Premier League matches. I'm displeased. That's what I am right now for two different reasons. Number one, I will get over it. It's not that big a deal. It's that we haven't really waited until the end of January. It would have been better for us to wait until the end of January just to be nitpicky, yes, but to ensure that we're giving the maximum amount of time to make sure Odegaard and Eze aren't getting injured and that Nwaneri will actually be needed, because Nwaneri was really, really, really needed last season when there was no Saka, back when there was no Odegaard as well. His minutes were increased around that time as well. When we have injuries on the right side of our attack and in the number 10 position, he is needed. So I think it would have been better, and if I was the one in charge, I would be really emphasizing, let him stay another week and then complete this move for him at the end of January, as close to the deadline as possible. That hasn't happened. I will get over that. I'm sure that, you know, if Odegaard and Eze do get injured, it will most likely be after deadline day. It's only, again, about a week away. The second reason is almost, you know, how did we get here? What on earth happened? That means we are having to send Ethan Nwaneri out on loan to Marseille in order for him to keep developing. This guy was the next star boy, and for whatever reason, things have just taken a complete 180 turn this season. Nowhere near enough minutes. Every time he's on the pitch, there's still tangible impact, but he just isn't being trusted by Mikel Arteta in the slightest this season. I say for whatever reason. There are reasons for it. It's just disappointing because it's a player that, born and raised, clearly loves Arsenal. Tangible impact every single time he's on the pitch in an area of the pitch where we tend to have a lot of injuries. And we've sent developing players out on loan before. Right, I'm not going to act like this is some new thing. William Saliba as well went on loan to Marseille himself a few years ago. That's different. Back when Saliba went on loan to Marseille, he had not played a single match for Arsenal. Ethan Nwaneri, on the other hand, just probably a couple weeks ago, hit his 50th Arsenal appearance. Last season, he played 37 times, scored 9 goals. This is a player that is well on his way to reaching his full potential. He's still a way off it, but he's done a lot of that development at Arsenal. We sent Saliba to Marseille to develop. Nwaneri was at roughly, I want to say, the same sort of stage of his development last season compared to when Saliba was sent to Marseille, I believe in the 21-22 season, was meant to be kind of the season before they really break into the Arsenal first team. That happened one season later. 22-23 for Saliba was when he really began to massively influence the team, became a starter at centre-back alongside Gabriel. This was meant to be the season, 25-26, where Ethan Nwaneri properly broke into the first team, because as good as he was last season and as many minutes as he got, he started the season still playing most of his minutes for academy sides, for the under-21s. This was meant to be the first season where he's in the first team. He said it himself. This is the first team, the first season where he is 100% a first-team player. It was meant to be the season where he really established himself as one of the biggest influences, especially in an attacking sense. And once again, it just has not worked out that way in the slightest. What baffles me is how little trust he's been given. He's played 6 matches in the Premier League this season out of a possible 22. Not a single one of them was a start. That's 6 from 6 appearances off the bench. He's only played 12 times in all competitions in total. Obviously, it would have been wrong for us not to anticipate a drop-off in his minutes, because last season, I believe he only played as much as he did because of the injuries to Odegaard and to Saka. He went on a long spell where he was starting matches out on the right, out of his natural preferred number 10 position because of the injury to Saka. This season, with Madueke, that's just not going to happen. If Saka's out injured, Madueke comes in, like that has happened already. In the number 10 position, his natural position, his preferred position, things were going to be trickier as well. Odegaard has been injured 3 times already this season. With that, you would think Nwaneri would be getting far more minutes than he has. But Eze coming in has really dented that as well. When Odegaard was out, Eze was trusted like never before. So once again, with Madueke and Eze coming in, you would have been a little foolish to not anticipate some drop-off in his minutes. But this drastic of a drop-off is really difficult for me to understand. This is a guy who genuinely looks like Santi Cazorla out on the football pitch when he's playing for Arsenal. And the level of impact this guy had off the bench every single time last season, and this season as well to an extent, he comes on and completely changes the game sometimes when we are in need of a late goal or a tempo shift to get the tempo back in our favour late on. Maybe we want to get control back on our side to help us see out final few minutes. He can come on and do that for us and get us forward quicker, progress it so much quicker, get it out wide quicker. Truly what another club would call generational. You can't really call him generational at Arsenal, because just in the past 7 or 8 years or so, we've had Saka come through, Nwaneri, Lewis Skelly, now Max Dowman and Marley Salmon. Hale End is a talent factory for the ages right now. But at a different club, say he came up through, I don't know, West Ham's academy, he would be truly generational. What a talent Ethan Nwaneri is. And I thought a lot over the summer about how players at his young age, you tend to see a lot of raw, natural talent, exciting to watch on the ball. With Nwaneri, again, consistent, tangible impact in just about every single match he plays. And there were other times where he has really taken control of games himself from the start. I honestly believe one of, if not his best game in an Arsenal shirt, was Leicester away last season, the game when Mikel Merino scored that brace, makeshift striker, right? That entire match, Ethan Nwaneri was the most threatening player for Arsenal. The entire match, right? That was an Odegaard-esque performance, not in the way he played. You know, I think there are big differences between him and Odegaard in the way that they play, but in terms of the leadership he showed, in terms of the way he was the one to make things happen, the way he was demanding the ball, the way he wanted to be the one to create. And I'm sure if I went and did a bit more digging up here, I could think of upwards of 3 or 4 matches that have been pretty much the exact same. You know, he's always wanted to stay at Arsenal pretty much since that match against Brentford in September 2022, when he became the youngest Premier League player in history. Manchester City were on his tail, trying to sign him for probably upwards of 2 years. Over the summer, there were rumours linking him with Chelsea. I don't know how reliable they were, but other clubs have tried to poach him for more money than he's on at Arsenal for years now. And it's always for him been Arsenal, 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 Arsenal. From what we were hearing earlier on in the month, this January, it seemed like he didn't want to leave. He could very easily, like he has done now, left to go to Bournemouth, West Ham were interested, now Marseille, and leave and get some proper minutes to continue his development, make sure he doesn't completely fall off a cliff because he's just not playing at all. But he wanted to stay. I believe this is last ditch for him to go to Marseille, because he sees there's no other way for him to get proper minutes this season. But he just loves the club so much. Everyone that has spoken in on Ethan knows how much Ethan Nwaneri loves Arsenal. He's a local guy. He loves the club to bits. He wants to be here so bad. He wants to succeed at Arsenal. Not like he will go to Marseille for the sake of his career, but he wants to succeed at Arsenal. I believe. Obviously, I don't know him personally. I don't want to make any wrong assumptions, but from what I can see, he wants to succeed at Arsenal. That is the goal of his career. It's like if I played for Arsenal, or if one of you watching played for Arsenal, because of how much we love the club, we would do anything to stay and succeed at Arsenal. We would really only leave the club if we were getting either 0 minutes or next to no minutes. And unfortunately for Ethan right now, that is the case. He is getting next to no minutes. So as much as he loves Arsenal and wants to be here for years and years and years and never leave and just stay at Arsenal for every single minute of his career, he sees that now he has to go to Marseille and get proper minutes, because this season it's just not looking like it's going to happen for him at Arsenal. So once again, circling back, I do think it's a good move for him. Of all the clubs that were linked with him, Premier League clubs, West Ham and Bournemouth were the primary ones. There were apparently some clubs in Italy interested as well. Ethan said yes to Marseille very quickly. It was only earlier today that we even found out that Marseille were even interested, and just now, about 20 minutes ago, right now, in the time that I'm recording this, we got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano, and it seemed like Arteta thought Marseille was a great destination for him. It seems like Nwaneri's family as well thinks that's a good place for him to go. All round, just general consensus that Marseille is the best place for him to go. It's a less competitive league, obviously, than the Premier League, somewhere that produces a lot of talent, similar to Ethan Nwaneri, these kind of silky ballers. Now, I don't know that much about Marseille. It looks like they don't always use a number 10, but they do like it. They do like to use a number 10, like a 4-2-3-1 formation, double pivot, number 10, wingers, striker. So there is room for Ethan there. And looking at their squad, they have Angel Gomez, who is listed on FotMob as a 10. I see him as more of a box-to-box, maybe even a number 6. Other than that, they have Matt O'Reilly, another player that is on loan from the Premier League, on loan from Brighton. Other than that, they have Bilal Nadir and Daryl Bakala, 2 players I have just not even heard of, if I'm being brutally honest. So it does look like there's room for him there to slot in, potentially even be their best number 10. Because again, Gomez and O'Reilly are not really proper number 10. Ethan's got a real good chance there. He needs to hit the ground running. That's not going to be easy. I don't think he speaks French. It's a country that he's never lived in, France. He's been at Arsenal for over half of his life, since he was 8. That's 10 years now. So, going to be completely new club, completely new surroundings, new coaches, new teammates, again, new language, new style of play, new everything. I believe this is a really, really good opportunity for him. If he hits the ground running, this could be massive for his development. He could come back next season looking a whole lot better if this goes well for him. Definitely wants it, because once again, it was only earlier today that we found out that there was interest from Marseille. A couple hours later, we find out he wants the move. He said yes to the move. Couple hours later, on top of that, we get the here we go. Everything is done and dusted between the player, the club, and the 2 clubs. Very, very quick process. So all parties want it. We believe it's the best place for him to go. He believes it's the best place for him to go. And Marseille themselves are getting a fabulous, fabulous talent in Ethan Nwaneri for the next 6 months. They better treat him right. They better give him minutes, because Ethan Nwaneri, once again, absolutely loves Arsenal. He would not leave Arsenal under many circumstances. This is one of them, to go and get minutes at a time where he really, really needs to keep developing his career. Marseille need to give him that opportunity. They cannot take him away from his boyhood club and just leave him on the bench. They have to play him. They have to do him the courtesy of giving him proper minutes, allowing him to develop in this new surrounding. And the players that are there, you need to help him settle in as quickly as possible. Aubameyang is at Marseille. That is huge. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang loved to help out the youngsters when he was at Arsenal. Smith Rowe and Saka, as they were coming up, becoming proper features in the first team. It's an opportunity for him to be a bit of a mentor for Nwaneri, show him the ropes, help him understand the way that Marseille play, maybe even teach him a bit of French, who knows. Overall, it's a good move for him once again. I hope this doesn't backfire on us, because if Odegaard or Eze get an injury, you're looking at only one attacking midfielder at the club to carry all of the weight. We definitely do not want to have one of our two 10s injured and then the other just gets run to the ground completely, and then we have a repeat of last season where we're having of early last season where we have to shift things around like crazy. Ethan Nwaneri is an extraordinary talent and helps out massively whenever we need him. And in the case of an Odegaard or Eze injury, that would definitely be the case. Valuable rotation option as well. Games like Portsmouth, Wigan coming up, Kairat Amadi, even later today against Inter. Having Nwaneri in, just giving Odegaard a bit of a rest, help him be better prepared for the matches coming up. He's such a valuable option. With that being said though, unfortunately for this season at Arsenal, that was all he was going to be, was a valuable rotation option. He deserves more than that for the incredible amount of talent that he has. So once again, Marseille is ultimately the best club for him to end up at. At least that's the way the two clubs and him look at it. It's what he needs right now to keep developing his career. I hope he absolutely smashes it at Marseille. He's a player that's come up through Arsenal's academy, so naturally we all want him to succeed at Arsenal so much. For him, he probably wants to succeed at Arsenal even more than that. So 6 months at Marseille, I hope Ethan Nwaneri absolutely smashes it, comes back to Arsenal looking new, looking more developed, looking ready to go again at Arsenal. And from next season, Mikel, play him, because this kid is ridiculously talented.